looking at today? Why'd you bring in this VOD? What are you
Um,
struggling with?
so kind of, I would say consistency.
Hmm.
Like I kind of flip flop between a few clips. Like there was that Anivia game,
Hmm.
but I decided against that one just because like I think that game could have been a lot better had I just like
Hmm.
hit abilities.
Okay.
Like I was missing a lot, and I would say that's probably more of an outlier game in
Hmm.
terms of like how
Hmm.
egregious it actually was.
Hmm.
Um, but this game I think kind of reflects like I had a pretty brutal start to the game, and that's kind of how it has been. Like even that Aurora loss that I had, pretty close to that Anivia game. Like my early game was pretty not so great.
Yeah.
And then like I actually play a pretty decent mid to late game.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
so I kind of want to like um work work on improving my early game.
Okay.
Um and making it so I don't have to like go into crazy flow state just to bring a game back.
Okay. So you felt like you're just in general, you feel like your mid to late game is a little bit stronger than your early levels. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, and maybe maybe I'm a bit delusional, and
Hmm.
maybe my like my late game is just kind of my mid late game is just kind of good because the enemy is overextending and hard pushing too much.
Yeah.
But um, like I think this game was like a pretty good reflection of like yeah, I'd say my early game was pretty brutal,
Okay.
and I do think my mid to late was pretty okay here.
Okay. So I'll say first things first, specifically against Silas. Even if you only take TP, I think you should always have Ignite versus Silas, right?
I,
In my opinion, Ignite is a must versus Silas.
would you say against um like same with like Aurora and Assassins? Would you just prefer like igniting kind of those
Well, I
um
only take Ignite. I literally only take Ignite. So,
oh
um,
okay.
I think TP is totally okay too if you like TP. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking TP for sure.
Hmm.
I would just say there's like I think Silas is literally the one matchup where like I think there is no you
Like
have
if
to
and or but.
yeah you have to go Ignite. Like I think every other
Okay.
matchup of the game it's like kind of up to personal preference if you want TP or or Ignite or Exhaust or whatever the hell you want. Yeah, against Silas you need Ignite because once you have Ignite against Silas when he tries to all in you he cannot use his W to heal at all because you drop the Ignite and now he just
I
doesn't heal
see.
anything. So it's a lot harder for Silas to all in when he has Ignite or when you have Ignite.
Okay. So like even against control mages you like ignite more. Like I
Yeah,
find like if I'm in
yeah, I only take Ignite.
like a Victor Syndrome matchup and I'm just getting kind of pushed into my lane, like feel like I mean, obviously, I'm just playing my lane at like way less of a lower level, but um, like those lanes just feel so crippling.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking TP if you're comfortable with it. I think that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just there's some. I think it's important also not to overcomplicate it and like change it up game to game. Like I think that's
Hmm.
fine, but yeah, there's a few champs where it's kind of like yeah, you really want TP or you really want Ignite. And Sal's one of those. So
That you for sure want to ignite. Yeah.
so what I would say is this is very common. This is just Silas specific. So a lot of people when they play against Silas, they think they need to dodge the E2, right?
Hmm.
Right? You need to dodge Silas E2, okay? Silas actually, yes, you need to dodge E2, but that's actually not how Silas trades usually, okay? Usually the way he trades is he does E1, right? So he does the mini dash. Then
Hmm.
he's in range to W you already, right?
Hmm.
Then he W, and then he does E2 when he's on top of you already.
Yeah.
So your job is not actually the space to E2. It's the spaces E1 and W range, right? The E1 into the
Hmm.
W. So look at this here, right? This is a perfect example. You see how you're way too close, right? So instead of trying to greet that last auto, what you should do is just auto W, right, and back away here because now he has all the spells up and look at your range. He E's, W's, auto. Now he's on top of you, so he can't miss his E2. You see?
And in this case, like to avoid the W, if I had ran back into my minions and went for that, would the trade have been more favorable, or is it just I got too close and
No, you're too close because remember his
yeah.
W can is gonna just go through everything, right? So even if he doesn't land his
Okay.
E2, if he's already on top
Hmm.
of you, he's gonna beat you, right?
Okay.
And so this is something I notice a lot with Ahri players is they greed the auto W auto way too much.
Okay.
The only thing you care about is auto W. If you miss electrocute, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, and that's why eventually once you get Q, it's like easy. You can just auto WQ. But sometimes
Yeah.
your Q's on cooldown, or it's level 1. It's like I see people greed W way too much, or sorry, electrocute way too much. They get that extra auto and they put themselves in harm's way, right?
Yeah. And then you end up like this.
Yeah. So this was, I would say it's a spacing issue, but the spacing
Hmm.
issue comes from a lack of understanding of Silas's trading patterns, right? Like how does the Silas
Yeah.
trade? Like E1 into W is the Silas bread and butter trade.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you notice, look what he did again here, right?
Yeah. I got too
You got
close.
too close. So look, see E1 W. He's on top of you, even though you land the charm since he's already on top of you. He could just E2 you, right? And you lose your whole
Yeah.
health bar there. So that's a spacing problem. So what I would say when you're reviewing as kind of already like a learning objective I set for your review is in order to is overall what we need to do is improve our trading slash trading pattern understanding, right? Because I think your weight management's fine, right? Like your RE specifics are fine. I think you're just not understanding Silas well enough, right?
Hmm.
So your job is to go into the review and try to better understand either A, how did I take a bad trade, right? So this could
Hmm.
be like, you misspaced, like, or etc., right? And B, excuse me, um, what kind of rotation does that particular champion want to do, right?
Hmm.
So some you might know, right? Like I'm sure Syndra wants to go for the stun, right? The QE into W, right? I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So some of them you might know, but then there's gonna be other ones that's like, oh yeah, I'm actually getting caught off guard. I actually just didn't even know they could do that, right? And that's your job here is to work on is to improve this area because I think so far that's the kind of the root cause to why you're having issues. I mean, I think you literally just got hit by it again, right? Yeah,
Yeah. I
see?
think I have to burn flash here.
Yeah, he E1 W'd you. Now again, he's on top of you. So your spacing on his E1 W is just because you don't know what exists, right? It's just not good enough, and so you're just pretty much getting farmed here because of
Hmm.
that. Okay.
Yeah. This play was kind of brutal. This one was pure greed.
Let's take a look. So you. All right, let's break this one down. So you got priority, so that's already step number one. You
Hmm.
you have R, so that's step number two. So it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty solid. You know, your jungler's dead, but you are trying to play in the same side as your jungle, right? So
Hmm.
I think this looks fine. I think I would probably
So
move to this too.
it's yeah, it's a death as it was pretty greedy here. You'll see what I tried to do
Mm.
after.
Yeah,
Like I
so
think I think maybe if I actually like if I hit charm combo there and played it like a little more patient. I mean, I shouldn't have gone for it in anyways, I
yeah.
think, but like
Yeah,
I
so
actually think
I
if I
think
get extra reset back, maybe.
yeah, well, so the way I would view this is sure we can look at the micro, but I think the micro is like it's gonna be borderline impossible to kill this guy, right?
Hmm.
I like because he's just gonna use his E to dodge your skill shots, then you're never
Hmm.
gonna land anything. So what we need to look at is the macro, right? And so when you're playing Ari, well, actually, let's talk about why it's hard to kill him. Actually, so what you need to remember, this is really important as Ari, is Ari's damage does not come from Q and E. Okay, that's not where Ari's damage comes from. Ari's damage
Hmm.
comes from auto attacks, W, and R, right? And then the threats of your Q and E, right, causes them to have a hard time getting onto you, right? So you're kind of like,
Hmm.
and then eventually, then you can kind of go for Q and E once they're panicking, right?
Hmm.
So what you need to be valuing is that you need to value each individual R charge for damage and auto and W for damage more. Okay?
Sure.
So when we look at this situation, the reason why I would never go for this is because I value the damage of my R too much. Look at this. You just burned two R charges the gap close onto him. Right?
Yeah.
So if we think about how if all your damage is coming from your electrocute WR, you've just burned half of your damage already.
Hmm.
Right? Also, electrocutes Dawn, so that's another half. That's another half. So three-quarters of your damage is gone in this situation,
Yeah.
right? So this is the problem. This is why this fight is bad. You need to be valuing your R and your W damage a lot higher than you are, right? Like
Sure.
using your R to gap close like that, you almost never want to do that early into the game, right?
Okay.
Like especially in a fight. Like if you're already on top of him there and you got three R's, yeah, you would have killed him definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean the problem with this situation is that we don't have R now because of that previous play, so this is gonna be
Yeah.
tough. I mean, we can kill this guy though. Yeah, nice. Okay, get your last chapter. Good, good, good. Well, this is the same thing. So I want you to take a look at your ability usage here. You
Yeah,
W.
I should have auto W'd.
Yeah,
So
so
because I just lost most of my W damage on the grubs.
you didn't even get any damage off with your W. You got one tick there.
Hmm.
So okay, so again, let's look at it in terms of the lens of min maxing your R damage. Notice your R didn't hit anything.
I art away
So
instead of in.
you are too far, right? So what you can do if you want to get away from him, this is something I talked about in the guide, the WTL guide, is a short dash, which means you want to R like not max range because you're gonna miss that R
Hmm.
damage. So what I would have done is get out of the GP ult with your R, just like R like this much, right?
Hmm.
That way you get your R damage off. I don't think you got any W damage here, did you? Nope. So you got no R and no W damage again this fight.
Hmm.
So there you go. That's your first R. Okay. Yeah, so I think this fight could have been way cleaner, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Base. Good, good, good. Okay, good trade. Get your malignance, base CP. Yeah, so again, your high level macro on Ahri makes sense. If you're trying to fight with R, you're getting to your key spike. What happened to our W again here? So same thing, right?
Yeah, I tried to close gap and
To
then just used it too
never do
early.
that with RW. Never do that.
Okay.
You want to be using your W to move around to plays. Like if you know you're
Hmm.
not going to be there for a little bit, you know. Otherwise, like
Hmm.
if you're not getting damage with your W, that's a major problem. Major, major,
Okay.
major problem. I don't think we got any R damage here, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at every fight with this. I want to show you, like, this is why your fights feel hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we got. Yeah, so in this situation here, I think, first of all, I don't think I would have ever R'd like this. I would have just walked this way and fought Silas 2v1, right? Because that way I can actually utilize my R damage. But regardless, you
Hmm.
already decided to go over the wall and play the jungler, so that's okay. And so here in this situation, what you got to do is you got to use one of your R charges to get the Malignance Puddle on him, right? And get the
Yeah.
damage off. So I would just, again, go for a short dash here.
Okay.
So we have to utilize short dash more and value W more. Patience. Okay. Yeah, because I think this is again a situation where if you had min-max their damage more, I think you would easily won this. So this is now two fights that could have gone a lot better that didn't, right? Plus
Hmm.
your first death as well, just purely off of ability usage, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, this one we're pretty behind. Um. Okay, I don't want to overcomplicate lane assignments too much, but whenever
Hmm.
you're entering mid game, you want to go to a lane that you can actually somewhat fight 1v1 against the enemy champion, right?
Hmm.
So I think the problem with you going bot is that you're against Silas, and at this point in the game, you're not strong enough to fight Silas, right?
Hmm.
He's way too strong for you. So there's no way you're ever gonna beat him, which is a problem. So I think what you should have done here is got Zaya mid, ping her mid, and you play against GP because Ahri has a very very good matchup in the GP. Now
I
it's
think,
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I think here the GP was also pretty fed. So I
Hmm.
like it was a lose lose either way. But if the GP matchup is better,
Yeah,
then
it's a lot better. Um,
okay.
so like I don't expect you to know all the matchups, especially not the non mid lane champions yet, right? This level of play, that's
Hmm.
fine. But I would say start to, I guess, think
Think
about
about it.
that. Yeah. All right, what happened here? W and R from gap close, so now we have no damage. Yeah. So we're not gonna get that kill. Yep. Yeah, and then you get some kills here, starting to get some items. So this is another great example. Like you're just not valuing your R for the damage, right? You're relying it
Hmm.
too much on the mobility. In this situation, when Triss jumps in like this, I would literally just use your R to get the damage off, right?
Hmm.
Start hitting her with some R
Like,
charges.
and it would have made the difference because
And
she
she
like,
would be dead right now already, right?
yeah.
So honestly, I think I know the two things you need to work on already from this VOD. I think that's very clear to me. But we'll go keep going. Maybe I'll just look at one or two more fights because I think yeah, I'm noticing a definitely big trend here. All right, let's look at this one. Same thing. I mean, you should start with R. Again, they get the puddles
Hmm.
down, so I would go R first. Drop the puddles will hit Zyra and Triss. Get the MR shred from the malignance. Then you could go
Hmm.
EQ, and you would do way more damage. And Diana would do way more damage as well off of that.
Hmm.
So you know what's funny about this fight? You using your R to escape them accidentally got you R damage. You see that?
Yeah,
And you actually destroyed them because you did that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of things for you to work on, I think so. Let's break down why your early game was difficult. Okay, so the two reasons why your early game was difficult is number one is you don't understand some champions trading probably well enough, right? Which
Mhm.
causes you to take some really nasty trades. Because I think your raw like fundamentals in terms of lane identity is good, right? So I think that's totally fine. I think what we need to do is really start to refine the matchup specifics. So I would say for out of game learning objective, this is what I wrote here. Just copy and paste it again, right? This is what I want you to do, okay?
Okay.
For out of game, right? Ask yourself, go back at your VOD. Don't even look at like the minion wave or your setup or anything like that. Look at how did I take bad trades? Like, what was the reason that I took bad trades here? Right? Is it because
Okay.
is it because I missed space? Did I walk in when I didn't have charm? Did I greed the electrocute proc? Right? What was the reason? Right? And start to kind of slowly, I guess, understand what are some of your patterns and what are some things in this particular matchup you need to work on. And then the second thing is you need to dive deeper on the matchup understanding, right? So take the time to actually think about or research, right? Or asking the Ari thread, like, hey, like I have no idea how Silas wants to play, right? Like go ask the Silas thread.
Mhm.
Be like, can somebody please tell me how Silas wants to trade? How does he want to play? You know, like how can I play this matchup as an Ari? And start to familiarize yourself with a lot more of the enemy champion's perspective, right? How did they trade
Mhm.
better? So that's what I'd recommend for out of review. I'll do that out of game. I mean, you can work on it a little bit in the game, but that's a lot of that's going to come from out of game. And then I think the
Okay.
in game learning objective is that we need to spend. We need to do a better job of using our W and R for damage. That's the key, right?
Okay.
So I really want to see less focus on Q and E, right? More
Mhm.
focus on how can I be patient with W, get max W damage, right? How can I get my R's down, right? Get the R puddles set up, maximize R charge damage, right? This is what your mindset needs
Mhm.
to be in game, and this is what you need to be focused on in the game. And
Okay.
that's probably why also you're struggling in early fights because once you get Lichbane, the Lichbane damage carries really hard, even if you're not doing the W and R like super well, right?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why once you hit mid game, you're like, oh man, like I'm kind of chilling, right? I'm kind of doing a good job
Mhm.
because now you have so much damage to Ahri, and your Lichbane is really fucking OP. So you just like kind of kill everything with just Lichbane autos. But these early skirmishes, if you're not milking all your damage from everywhere you can, you're just not going to do damage in a fight as Ahri,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
does that kind of make sense in terms of what we talked about today?
Yeah. No, that's great. I think that'll help out a lot.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any questions or anything else you want to ask?
Um. No, I think I'm okay for now. But yeah. If I come up with anything as I'm playing, I'll throw them in threads.
Okay, awesome. Do you feel like this gave you some good direction? Do you feel like you have some things to work on now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Okay.
great because